Norma Khan, and this is my reaction to the UEFA Women's Champions League final, where Barcelona thrashed Chelsea 4-0 to become the first Spanish side to win the tournament. Will this result usher in a new era of dominance from Barcelona, and will they take over the mantle from Lyon as the leading side in the women's game? That remains to be seen, but Barcelona certainly proved last night that they are the best team in Europe, dismantling Chelsea with some ruthless finishing and ending the game as a contest after 30 minutes. For Chelsea, it'll be bitterly disappointing in Emma Hayes' first Champions League final to go down the way they did, but they can take heart from Barcelona, who themselves were defeated 4-1 by Lyon 2 years ago and have come back and are now running the women's game. They were completely dominant throughout, even in the second period when Chelsea pushed to salvage a bit of pride and try score a goal or two. Barcelona were resolute defensively and almost added to their goal tally near the end. But for Chelsea it was the start, and maybe questions need to be asked of Emma Hayes' decision to play Niamh Charles. You know, she's normally a winger, and Jess Carter as well, naturally a centre-back, and full-backs against two of the best wingers in the world in Martins and Hansen, who tore both of those to shreds. And, you know, it proved for the fourth goal, both combined to put Chelsea to the sword. Even the likes of Kirby and Kerr, we didn't see them in the game enough from a Chelsea point of view. Barcelona really nullified the threat, and Chelsea failed to connect between the midfield and the forward line. You know, G and Ingle, they couldn't get forward. They were camped in their half for most of the game, and it was just really disappointing from a Chelsea point of view. But it can't take away from Barcelona. You know, maybe the first two goals were a bit fortunate. The first one a freakish deflection, the second a controversial penalty, given that there was minimal contact even when VAR reviewed maybe the trailing leg. Obviously there was contact there, but again, as I've said, it was minimal. But VAR opted to give it, and you know, from that point on, when they were 2-0 down after 12 minutes, it was a nightmare for Chelsea and they just failed to recover. But you can't take it away from Barcelona. They've been completely dominant in their own league, and they proved last night that they are the best team in Europe, and it's going to take something special to beat them. But as I've said, you know, for Chelsea, they can take heart from where Barcelona have come from. You know, 10 of the players who featured in the final against Lyon 2 years ago were in the squad tonight, so they had the experience and they knew what it took to go into a big game and to come out on top. And again, for Chelsea, you know, they'll be hoping to maybe add some players this summer. You know, Lauren James is being rumoured. That'd be a great addition for the squad depth, which is already quite strong, but bringing in some fullbacks is definitely an area of improvement. On last night's performance, obviously Mielda's injury was a huge blow to them, and they dearly missed her last night. But they should also maybe look at bringing through their own players. You know, a lot of Barcelona's players last night had come from their own academy, and they're trusting in the academy system, and maybe that's a route Chelsea might want to explore as well. I think Barcelona are really the model to follow, following on from last night's result, because they've shown that they can come back from a heavy defeat and reign in Europe and become European champions. So it was definitely not a final that I don't think anyone expected. Everybody thought it might be a bit closer, but Barcelona, having scored 4 and 5 goals in most of their league games this season, you know, proved they are the best side in Europe by doing it on the big stage.